Hi everyone! Today we're going to be discussing 9 different parasites under the phylum Platyhelminthes, and these are commonly known as flatworms. So the types of parasites that reside under the phylum Platyhelminthes are cestodes and trematodes. We're going to be discussing 7 cestodes, also known as tapeworms, and they include Dipallidium caninum, Taenia taeniiformis, Taenia saginata, Taenia solium, Echinococcus granulosus, Monesia, Anoplocephala perfoliata, and the 2 trematodes that we're going to be discussing are Fasciola hepatica and Paragonomus kellicati. So we're going to start with cestodes, which are commonly known as tapeworms, and I just want to discuss a few general characteristics about these tapeworms. So generally, tapeworms' bodies are long, segmented, and flattened. So you can see here that the tapeworms are long, they are flattened, these almost look like ribbons in a way, and they're also segmented. You can see each of these developing segments kind of pinched off at each end in this tapeworm, and each of these segments are known as proglottids. And again, we describe these as developing segments of the tapeworm. Now the scolex is what we refer to as the head of the parasite. The scolex is where the head of the parasite attaches to the host. Now on the scolex there is no organ of prehension, meaning no mouth. They don't eat through a mouth. All of their nutrients are absorbed through the body wall. Now, some other characteristics of cestodes include the definitive host. Now, each cestode has a definitive host, meaning the adult parasite resides in the definitive host. There is an intermediate host usually with cestodes, and the intermediate host will host the larval stage of the parasite. And if we have an intermediate host involved in the life cycle, that means that this life cycle is considered indirect. It requires 2 or 3 hosts to develop from an egg to an adult. And so the general life cycle stages of a cestode are egg, larva to adult. Now, in order to identify cestodes in our animals, usually we're going to see some type of visual sign, such as segments in the feces. Now, segments on top of feces usually look like little grains of rice or something similar to that, and sometimes they're even moving. People may mistake them for small grubs or small worms moving around on the feces, and that's because each of these segments contract whenever they're trying to squeeze eggs out of them. So you may also see these segments around the anus of an animal. Scooting is a very common symptom of having a parasite, whether it's a cestode, whether it's some other type of parasite. And then we also generally diagnose any type of parasite, not just cestodes, but we diagnose any type of parasite within a fecal flotation. And this is something that we run commonly in a lab. And there are many types of flotations that can be used, many different varieties, but there are 3 common ones that we'll be discussing in lab. So now, what I would like you to do is proceed to cestodes 1 through 3 at this time.